Now here's something that I don't usually do. I don't usually take you through the unboxing experience because, well, frankly, I don't see the point, but this is a slightly older model. It's, what, 10 years now? So I want to take you through the unboxing experience. First, you do what you expect you do. You take it off out of the box. But then you're met with styrofoam. Now, that's cool. You know, styrofoam, it's not an issue. But you have these two plastic holders. I think that's the best way you can describe them. Now let's put those to one side. Then you have this faux glazing. Now that can go. And you have to set it back upright. Lift that up, and you have to lift it up perfectly straight, because if you put it on a bit dodgily, because there's like, you know, slots for the thing to sit in, it won't go. And then you can lift out your logo and tender separately. I think I know why the whistle snapped off. Insert pun about high standards here. Where do you begin with a model as, how do I say, iconic as the Hornby clan? The Hornby clan was the star of what I believe was the 2010 or the 2008 Hornby catalogue, and it sold like hotcakes to the point where a second-hand model of a clan was a rare find, and many people would scramble to get their hands on one of these. Then, Hornby re-released the clan to a slightly higher standard, you know, as in, you know, the DCC interface was, although not upgraded, it had the permanent tender connection, because this one is just, you know, the hook and loop thing. And, to be fair, there's lots of things to say about Hornby, you know. Usually their BR green isn't right. They use too bright of an orange for the lining. But on the clan, it has to be the most accurate Hornby BR green that I've ever seen. For one, this isn't just Brunswick green, because, hold on, I'll show what I mean. This is a Thompson A2/3. This is a Merchant Navy. Notice how the Merchant Navy and the Thompson A2 have a very drab, almost Great Western green. It's not quite Great Western green, but it's also definitely not supposed to be, or at least anywhere close to, actual BR chrome green. And then you look at this one, and the camera clearly shows that this green has a bit of blue in it. And that is what sets apart chrome green from Great Western green. Did I just say chrome green? I made an entire video about how the BR green is called bronze green. Why did I just call it chrome green? Chrome green is the Great Western colour. However, as much as I think that the green on the clan is actually correct, notice how the banding on the boiler is still too bright of an orange, and actually, if I just move these two aside just for a bit. Now, if you just look at the running plate of the clan, you know, the orange, it's too noticeable. I've stood next to locomotives that wear BR green, you know, Bully Pacifics, Flying Scotsman, and the lining on the running plate is never this noticeable. This really jumps out at you, and on the real things, it's really subtle. Like, this doesn't match at all. Now, as I says, this one is actually one of the 2010 models, or 2008, I can't remember. It's Clan MacLeod, 72008, and, well, how do I say this? If I hadn't seen that this one, you know, had the hook and loop thing for getting loco and tender together, I wouldn't have been able to tell that this model is over, nearly 15 years old at this time. Also, fun fact, the Flying Scotsman video is what I paid for this model, so thank you guys. I still know how to clickbait. Yeah, it was second-hand. It was sold with pretense that, you know, there's a visible repair to the boiler pipework. But, to be honest, it's only kind of visible here, but from any sort of distance, you don't really see it. So, I don't know what that was about. One thing though, it shipped without a whistle. That was also, that was not on the box, so dang it. Now, a feature that for many locos is a great highlight is the cab, and I'm pleased to say, and I don't know if I have enough room to angle it like this. Oh, wait, hang on. Give me a second. There. There's painting on the gauges. The regulator is clearly a separately fitted piece. It's a wonderful cab. It really is. I struggle to see how, you know, a relatively drab cab like this, because, you know, the inside isn't painted cream, it could be done better than this. Also, I'm really fond of the way the detail at the front works out. There are some models where I think that the detail at the front kind of fouls the thing, but like, look at what we have here. We have the screw-link coupling that for some reason is just completely fixed in the hook being in the chain being over the hook. You have the air pump. No, that's the steam heating. That's the vacuum brake, and then you have the protective plate for the AWS system, for which the little battery box is here on the side of the loco next to the firebox. Now, actually, a really strong element of this model, I think, is the tender. Now, a tender always completes the look of a tender engine, of course, but just the way that this tender feels so, I don't know, solid. I don't know, I just really like it. One thing though, when I got it, I had to, you can probably just see that, I had to glue this back piece back on, because it snapped off, and I kind of left a bit of glue residue on the tender, so that's on me. Also, I fitted it with my own crushed coal, and I think this is the finest job I've done at crushed coal yet, but, you know, I'm one of those guys, like, if it's possible, and it's not a £400 Doblo model, I will just put crushed coal in the tender, and I don't know, it just really enhances the look. Now, for as much as I'm fond of the clans, they're my favourite BR standard. I think they're very well proportioned. This one, whenever I fitted it with the Hornby chip that it is fitted with now, the HM7000, it struggled. It just doesn't, it's not happy on slow speeds. It cuts out on points, even on just the dead zones when it's going straight, so I don't know what that's about. Now, you've already seen this loco run, of course, and the video she was featured in got mixed results. Some people said that they completely agree with my stance on sound, and there were people that said that maybe I have a dodgy chip, and then there were people that said there was something wrong with my layout. Now, just imagine that, you know, loco and tender are coupled together for this one, right? So the wheelbase picking up starts here and ends here. I would like to bring your attention to the Sonic Models A5. Now, if the wheelbase of the clan that's picking up is from here to here, the Sonic Models wheelbase that picks up is this. It's tiny. Yet this thing doesn't stop on the points, ever. This thing does. Mind you, when this arrived, it didn't have a Hornby chip, and it could do the points no problem. I fitted with a Hornby chip, it stalls. Now again, that's not fair on the clan. I know it isn't, because I have other models that have been fitted with Hornby chips that then also have their performance degrade. But I think it's quite silly, quite frankly, to blame my layout for something that is so obviously a problem that was introduced the second this thing got fitted with a Hornby chip. It's the same story with my J36, and I will not budge on that. And I know that my reviews are not as dynamic as Sam Strade's, not as positive as Jenny Kirk's, but if I have a flaw with a model, I'm going to cause it as it is. And I'm just so bummed that a Hornby chip is just what completely ruins the performance of this model. Now, for the review, I did some running tests, because, you know, you've already seen this thing running about with the Hornby chip, so doing a full section on the running would be kind of pointless. But I've fitted this model with another chip and tested it on the same point, the same straight bit of track where it just stalls if it's going below speed step 50. How that went will surprise you. Okay, so I've taken out the Hornby HM7000 decoder, however that thing is taped to the inside of the tender body, hence why it doesn't have it on the tender frame at the moment. It is fitted with the DCC chip that is usually in my Hornby Baby Scott. As you can see, it is a hardened decoder. And those were always very reliable, so I've not cleaned the track. The last time that the track ran was actually in the sound review. So I'm gonna see if this has any effect on the locomotive running. So, kicks in earlier. We're doing speed step 12. Oh! Oh, who would have thought that? Oh no! Oh no! It's not fitted with the Hornby decoder and it manages to do the dead zone. Oh no! Who managed to even call that before that? Oh no! I genuinely wonder who already made that point clear and people didn't believe me. Oopsie. I'm sorry if I sound a bit vitriolic saying that, but you know, people said there's something wrong with my layout, and I know that my layout isn't the most reliable due, to the snow, due to this being Hornby points and not Pico points. But again, if my D11, if my A5, if my Dutches can manage these points because they don't have Hornby chips fitted, and then I fit my J36 in it, which usually can take these points no problem, and it just tanks the performance. And I fit my Clan with a Hornby chip, and it tanks the performance. You know, this is a bit of a victory lap for me. Construct that victory arch, because I want my laurel wreath right now. So, my verdict on the Hornby Clan. I've gushed about how good it looks. I've been disappointed at how the performance went because of the chip that's fitted in this. But again, that's not on this model. That's something that can completely vary if you just, put a different chip in this. My Pacific's fitted with Hatton's chips don't do what this thing does. Would I recommend this? Well, like all of Hornby's Pacifics, or locos in general, it's light on features. So what I paid for this was, I think it was around £150. For a second-hand model without that many features, I paid less for my Hornby Duchess, the Sir William Stanier FRS. That being said, if you're willing to look out for a clan, you're probably really keen on having a clan. So those things would most likely not bother you. If the performance is what bothers me, and that's only because of the stupid chip that's in this, then yes, of course I can recommend it. However, having seen the RRP of the re-release of this, that's also already sold out, I can't really say it's worth it from a value for money aspect. Now, I of course can't talk, I have two Doblo locomotives, so, take what I can say with a pinch of salt. But if you really want a clan, sure, then the price is not going to bother you, of course. But if you're really after a BR Pacific, the clan might not be your first port of call. Now, when I can get this thing to run with a proper chip, I will of course be over the moon with this. It's a mixed traffic Pacific, and you guys know how much I like that. So, from that point of view, yeah, I can recommend this. I am chuffed with this. But, if you're looking for value for money, or a slightly better BR Pacific, then the clan, again, it just really depends on if it's specifically the clan you're after. But I'm just talking circles now, so that's all I have for you today. Thank you for watching. Next week is going to be the 9F, because I promised I would do both of those back to back. Then it's maybe another model railway video, but that kind of depends on if I can get some assets ready for a new video. But we'll see when the time comes. Again, thank you for watching. I hope to see you in the next one, and cheerio.